You might have thought yesterday was Black Friday, or some shoppers even behaving worse than Congress. Shoppers all over the country were busting down doors, getting into fights, even shooting guns, but they weren't looking for big sales. They were fighting to get a pair of basketball shoes.
At one point, actually running across the street through traffic to the mall property. They'd asked everyone to leave mall property, park across the way, and then people got the word that they could come back over here, and they just sprinted for it. We talked to some people who waited in line, and some people gave up. They just said it just wasn't worth it.
I wonder if Jordan ever created a shoe called insecurity. I wonder if we would still buy. I wonder if we would borrow stores and stand in line just to end the supply. I wonder if we would still purchase them knowing that we are struggling just to get by. But if Jordan accomplished one thing, he made so many of my peers believe that his shoes could make them fly. But I wonder why. My generation keeps doing the same things and expecting different results. But then again, we do keep buying the same shoe and expecting new praise and exalt. I wonder if getting those new insecurities would lead to fights and assaults, which therefore makes me wonder if not getting them would lead to ridicule and insults. I wonder if anyone would ever tell us that those insecurities don't define us, and how our desperately to buy them only confines us to the point that we can't even find us. I wonder how much money we would be willing to pay just for our insecurity. See, I can only wonder. But my wondering soon turns to worry as I think of what my generation will do just for attention. How they jump on new trends as a means of bypassing rejection and wrongly call it freedom of expression, but all they want is acceptance. I just want to tell them that if you're walking in the wrong direction, it doesn't matter what is on your feet. And if you're not hearing sound truth, no, I don't care about your beats. And if your words aren't edifying, no, I don't want to see your tweet. Because your desperateness to take a seat with the elite will eventually become your defeat. But please tell me, if these things are really making you feel complete, then why are you constantly feeling the need to compete? You thought that being a part of the in crowd would make you complete, but all you realize is that they just made you feel incomplete. But please understand that my words are no blame on Jordan, but only recognizing the society that has become our biggest prison warden. And I speak to my generation to warn them of a society that specializes in desensitizing sentiments to center their attention on things that don't benefit. A society that treats me like I'm the enemy, but I'm the one who's innocent. They treat me like I'm the nemesis, but that's because they choose dudes like Lil Wayne and Chief Keef to act as our representative. See, it's a shame that we keep reaping what society has sold, because no matter how many shoes Jordan has sold, I am more concerned about your soul. I don't care about what name brand is on the bottom of your soul, because I even know that material things can't make you whole. So I speak to a generation of young girls and all my single ladies who only think it's cool to be a fiance because they're obsessed with being Beyonce. Young girls who see marriage not as a lifelong covenant but as a way to get attention and coverage. Doesn't care if her man covers her because all she wants is for other girls to covet her. So I speak to a generation of young boys who only think that masculinity means to skillfully and implicitly downplay their chivalry, sympathy, sensitivity, and their dignity, while officially, explicitly, and unequivocally promoting violence visually, vividly, and viciously, negatively promoting hostility and delinquency in order to hide their true feelings of fragility, acceptability, insufficiency, and insecurity. See, it scares me what my generation will do just for attention, but the sad thing is that they know that we will give it to them. Because they think that the only way to be recognized is to put fights on World Star, because in one night they become the world stars, and they think that causing harm will make them go far. But I wonder if they even know that the activity could put them behind bars. So I speak to a generation that lives by the philosophy of YOLO. A generation that lives it up because they only live once. So ironically, they use words to signify the fact that they are living, but they don't even know what they speak. They use words like faded, which means to lose brilliance or to die out gradually, wasted, to be used up or worn down, gradually chopped, to be cut into small bits and to be cut in half. And we wonder why our lifespan keeps being cut in half. See, life and death is in the power of your tongue, and it isn't too far from your lungs. So don't think that for 1 minute, death won't greet you while you're young. But while we were young, our true purpose was made known to us the day that Christ hung. And a new song was sung because the possibility of new life had just begun. So I wonder if my generation has ever heard the story of Daniel. The story of how him and his 3 friends didn't fear the jeers from the peers because they were more concerned about receiving their heavenly Father's cheers. Their obedience even caused them to be thrown into a lion's den and even a fiery furnace, but it was no point for them to be fearful or nervous because there suddenly appeared a miraculous person that prevented what was meant to harm to not serve its purpose. I wonder if young women have ever heard the story of Esther. A young woman who knew that her beauty was created by God and not created for men. A young woman who used her beauty and charm to change the outcome of her entire empire, who understood that her beauty had more purpose beyond men trying to change the size of her stomach because her faith could move mountains. She was on top of that summit. I wonder if young men have ever heard the story of Joseph. Even in spite of a woman having wrong motives, Joseph didn't give lust any notice, but yet he chose God to be his focus. And even when doing the right thing seemed to cost him everything, God didn't forget his promise and saw fit to promote him. I wonder if our generation would realize that he died to make us shameless, deemed us as blameless, so now we are redefining what fame is because now we live to make him famous. We were paralyzed, but now we're walking, blind, but now we see, so you can't even begin to tell me what lame is. I wonder if we would be that generation who was called before the beginning of creation to providentially affect entire nations, a generation that continually runs and fights temptation, a generation that consistently works hard and never takes vacations, a generation that shows what real change is because we were changed by salvation. I wonder if we will ever stop conforming. I wonder if our minds would start transforming. I wonder if we would take the good news and start informing. I wonder if we would tell our generation to take heed to the warnings. I wonder if we will ever escape this prison warden, or will we continue to be a slave to those new Jordans?